What's up, Motorheads, and welcome back to a brand spanking new take from your pals here at Gearbox Pizza. Today we're taking a close look at the brand new for 2022 BMW 2 Series. So toss a Hot Pocket in that microwave and top off that glass of grape juice because we are going to break this thing down. I'm going to show you the good and the bad. We're going to build the right one, the one we would get and the one we think you should get. Alright, so before we get started, I just wanted to point out that there's actually two 2 Series. So there's the 4-door 2 Series Grand Coupe sort of thing, and then there's the 2-door Firecracker Badass Coupe rocket ship that we're going to be talking about today. Look, so I'm not trying to crap on the Grand Coupe, but just trust me, you're not interested in it, I promise. The fact that you're here on YouTube nerding out hardcore to a bunch of car videos means that you're at least somewhat of a motorhead. And you've got no interest in this little front-wheel drive sedan, which this thing is. Anyhow, don't even bother looking at it because the real 2 Series, well, it's pretty much the real deal. Thankfully, the new 2 Series Coupe sticks with that rear-wheel drive on the 230 and a rear-bias all-wheel drive system on the M240. Really stoked that they didn't mess up the formula on this one. Alright, so lately, whenever there's a new BMW model, it just seems like all eyes are on the grille, right? I mean, how big is too big? Well, look, the new 2 Series appears to have gone through an exercising constraint here. The grille, and most of the car in fact, feels more like a strong refresh than a completely new model. I mean, they played it safe, and I can't really say I blame them. I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not anything like really special, but it should make most people happy. Now, I do kind of hope they take some risks styling-wise when they drop the new M2. I mean, give it a grill. Yeah, I said it. Screw it, go big. Also, if the new 2 Series Coupe looks a little bit bigger, well, that's because it is. This new fella is over 4 inches longer, and it's almost 3 inches wider, and that wheelbase is also 2 inches longer. Now, it may not sound like much, but on the inside, there's an extra 3 cubic feet of passenger room, so yeah, so this is good news because, look, the outgoing 2 Series, well, I mean, it was a little bit cramped inside, but seriously, BMW, this is it. Let's not grow this thing anymore. Let's keep it small. I mean, and check this out. The new 2 Series Coupe, it is actually 5 inches longer and 5 inches wider than the E36 3 Series, right? That's crazy. All right, so let's take a peek on the inside. And this should look pretty familiar if you know the outgoing 2 Series, which is totally fine. Look, it was nice then, it's nice now. You got analog dials, they're gonna be standard, but you got the option to upgrade to a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. So that's pretty cool. All the US versions come standard with sports seats as well as that leather steering wheel. All right, that's cool. The M240 gets the standard moonroof while it's an option for the 230. All right, no more messing around. Let's talk motors. And look, the rear-wheel drive 230 comes with a 2-liter 4-banger that makes that a pretty healthy 255 ponies and almost 300 pound-feet of torque. BMW is saying that this thing's gonna hit 60 in like 5.5 seconds, which means it's probably closer to like 5.2 or so, right? As we all know, BMW, for whatever reason, dramatically underrates horsepower and acceleration times by a pretty healthy margin. That all-wheel drive M240 comes with that silky sweet legendary straight turbo 6 that makes a pretty impressive 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 should be achievable in under 4 seconds. Top speed, you're kind of limited to 155, but hey, that's all right. All right, so probably the worst news so far is that transmission-wise, well, we're pretty much stuck with that 8-speed slush box, and please be true. It's been hinted that the upcoming M2 is going to be offered with a stick shift. So, all right, look, please, everybody, call your congressman, your senator, make this a priority. Tell them you want the manual. Let's come on, we can just save the manual. Let's do it. All right, so let's do it. It is time to build one of these babies. So, first thing, we got a $12,000 decision to make, but if you ask me, it should kind of more or less be sort of automatic. Look, we're getting the fast one, yep, M240. Okay, so right off the bat, you're confronted with this decision. For $400, do you want the full shadow line trim? Look, if you ask me, it totally depends on the paint you're going with. So let's go ahead and pick some paint. All right, so color-wise, all pretty standard except for this purple, or what BMW is calling Thunder Night Metallic. Now, this also happens to be the press color, and I don't know, call me crazy, but I I kind of sort of dig it, you know? The Bavarian Barney, the great little grape, the perp-a-derp, whatever you end up calling it. I wouldn't knock you for choosing it. Look, it's actually pretty cool, but I think we're gonna go a slightly different direction. We're gonna pick up that Brooklyn Gray Metallic. Next up, the wheels. So at first glance, this does look like a ton of options, right? Well, not really. Your M240 is coming with 19s, and that's all there is to it. Now, BMW does give you plenty of tire options though, so that's pretty cool. First decision, do you want run flats or non-run flats? Look, the run flats might not perform quite as well as the regular tires, but that difference is pretty much negligible. So we're gonna take the run flats. Next question, performance tires or all-season tires? Well, where do you live? If you need all-season tires, well, there's an option for you. We'll be going for the performance run flats, and we're gonna be putting those things on those sweet black wheels. All right, so back to the inside, and there's plenty of options here. Look, you got 3 no-cost synthetic options, which are all fine, but you can step up to that leather for like just under $1,500. Look, no wrong choices here, so get what you like and what you can afford. Today, and because we're rolling with that gray paint, we're gonna pull the trigger on that red leather. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for red interiors, I guess. Although, look, that black with the blue contrast stitching, that's also a very solid choice here, but you know what, we're going with the red. Next up is trim. Look, and there's just not that much to talk about here. The black high gloss mega fingerprint magnet comes standard, and for the price of a tomahawk steak, side of mash, mid-range bottle of vino, and that bread pudding, you can get the aluminum tetragon trim, so I think we're gonna go for it. Okay, so now we're gonna start talking options, and there's 3 packages that we gotta check out. First up is this parking assistant package for an ice cool 700. So what do you get for that $700? Well, you get this surround view trick camera system, and you get the ability for this thing to kind of parallel park itself, I guess. All right, look, this isn't a big car. I mean, it's actually pretty tiny compared to like almost everything else that's out there on the street, right? If you're having problems parallel parking this thing, well, I really don't think this little demon is for you, and I'd be very happy to introduce you to like, I don't know, like a Lexus. Next up, we got that premium package, and look, this thing ain't cheap, but it is chock full and bursting at the brim of all these sweet, sweet goodies that you just really, really want. Look, there's the upgraded digital gauge cluster, nice, the heads-up display, which is kind of a must, and you also get the adapted full LED lights, which is also nice. Your seats and steering wheel are going to be heated. You also get the garage door opener and the automatic high beams, and all this for a cool $2,750. Look, I know, it's not cheap, but you kind of just want everything it offers, so yeah, we're getting it. All right, so the last package here is the cooling and high performance tire package, which is a little bit of a mouthful, but it's gonna run you $2,400. So look, I gotta say, I'm just not sure I totally get this. Look, you get a more powerful cooling fan and an additional engine oil cooler, and like, all right, I mean, that seems cool, right? Well, look, it's just a little expensive, and honestly, if you're looking for this next level of track performance, like, I'm sure you're just waiting around for the M2 anyhow. I mean, look, it's cool that they're offering this as an option, but I can't imagine the take rate on this thing's gonna be very high. But look, if you want it and you can afford it, by all means, just go for it. So there's also a number of standalone options that you can drop some cash on, and look, I'm not gonna go through everything, but let's take a look at a few of the interesting ones. For $100, you can get the drive recorder, which records the vehicle surroundings at all times, and it keeps track of the GPS and speed data that go along with that. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? And at $100, it's a no-brainer. I'll take it. Well, not so fast. The only catch is that you need the parking assistance package, to get this thing even as an option. So yeah, at $100, I loved it. At $800, just not so much. I don't know. We're gonna have to think on this one. Next up, we got that illuminated M trim for like $200. I believe these are those like the M Power, M Performance type and logos that illuminate on the door sills. I mean, it might be a little silly, but I promise you it's gonna put a tiny little smile on your mug every time you get in and out of this firecracker. So we're gonna get it. Next, we got that Harman Kardon sound system. Look, $875, but it's not that bad and it sounds really good actually. So I think it's well worth the money. We're getting it. All right, so the very last thing here are the red calipers for the performance brakes. Considering our color combination with that gray on the outside and red on the inside, this is a no-brainer, especially considering this is a no-cost option, so right on. Yeah, so that about does it. So the new M240 looks to be a little better in just about every way. We built ours pretty loaded here, and it comes in at like just under 55 grand or so. And look, yeah, that's a lot of money, but there's just not much out there that's this size and this fast and this fun. I mean, it's a real sports car. I just wish you could get it with a manual, but look, honestly, between you and I mean, look, we're both kind of just waiting for the M2 anyways, right?